Good morning. What does calm feel like to you? Maybe you know right away what it feels like to be calm. Maybe you can think of something already that makes you feel calm. But maybe you can't. Maybe when you try to think about what it means to feel calm, you realize that very often you're feeling something that feels a lot more shaken up. Life is full of things that get us feeling shaken up. We often fill ourselves with worry, don't we? We worry about our schoolwork, we worry about our friendships, we worry about how we look, we worry about getting sick. Sometimes we even worry about why we are worrying. When we are worrying, we definitely aren't feeling calm. Being mistreated shakes us up too, doesn't it? If we feel like we aren't getting our fair share, or if we're being treated unjustly, or excluded by others, it makes us feel shaken up inside. If people judge us or spread rumors, it makes us feel shaken up too, doesn't it? Life shakeups can also be times when we feel a lot of pressure, like when we are studying hard for a test or have a lot of homework. Or maybe we end up with too many activities. Maybe you feel pressure to be really good at something and you want to do something really well, but it puts pressure. Now, this can is experiencing a lot of shaking. And I think the pop is feeling less than calm, and I think you know what's going to happen when I open it up. When we get shaken up, we can get ourselves into a sticky mess. How many times have you been feeling worried and then yelled at someone? Or maybe you've retaliated with your actions or your words when you feel like you're being mistreated. Maybe you've ended up in fights or arguments. Or have you ever ended up feeling so overwhelmed by too many things to do that you end up doing nothing at all? In Galatians, Paul says that we should live by the Spirit. He tells the people that they are called to be free, but then warns them that not to use the freedom to do whatever they want. He says living that way will end up destroying their freedom. Instead, he reminds them that living by the Spirit means living with love for one another and to serve one another. When we are feeling all shaken up inside, it takes over our life. We often let worry or stress or anger or resentment control our thoughts and our actions. Then we lash out at each other or bite each other, as Paul says, and we're not free because freedom is love. Now, we can't always avoid situations where we are being mistreated. We're going to find ourselves over and over again feeling like we have too much to do and not enough time to do it. So how do we make sure we keep control? How do we keep from getting all shook up and exploding into a messy, sticky situation? How do we make sure that we are living free and the way that Jesus wants us to? How do we keep living in the Spirit when the whole world is shaking us up and tossing us around? Knowing God is an important tool. Knowing that you are loved by a God who loves you beyond measure can remind you of your true value and worth. Reaching out is an important tool. God has put helpers into each of our lives so that we can reach out to one another when we need help. These helpers are teachers and parents and neighbors and friends. Sometimes they're doctors and nurses and counselors. And prayer is an important tool. Talk to God and give Him your worries and your struggles through prayer. Paul says that if we live our lives with love for one another, we'll find that love is freedom. Love creates calm. Showing love and kindness to others will end up setting us free when we feel the pressure of being shaken. What a difference. This week, if you start to feel shaken up by whatever life throws at you, remember this. Love one another because God has loved you. Pray. Practice kindness to others. Reach out. Try to settle the storm inside and keep calm so that you can stop yourself from biting at one another or ending up in a sticky mess. So that we can live in freedom, full of love.